He who holds the great symbol will attract all things to him. They flock to him and receive no harm, for in him they find peace, security, and happiness. Music and dainty dishes can only make a passing guest pause, but the words of Tao possess lasting effects. Though they are mild and flavorless, though they appeal neither to the eye nor to the ear. What is it in the end to be shrunken? Begins by being first stretched out. What is in the end to be weakened? Begins by being first made strong. What is in the end to be thrown down begins by being first set on high. What is in the end to be despoiled begins by being first richly endowed. Herein is the subtle wisdom of life, that soft and weak overcomes the hard and strong. Just as the fish must not leave the deep, so the ruler must not display his weapons. Tao never makes any ado, and yet it does not everything. If a ruler can cling to it, all things will grow of themselves. When they have grown and tend to make a stir, it is time to keep them in their place by the aid of the nameless primal simplicity, which alone can curb the desires of men. When the desires of men are curbed, there will be peace, and the world will settle down of its own accord. High virtue is non-virtuous, therefore it has virtue. Low virtue never frees itself from virtuousness, therefore it has no virtue. High virtue makes no fuss and has no private ends to serve. Low virtue not only fuses, fusses, but has private ends to serve. High humanity fusses, but has no private ends to serve. High morality not only fusses, but has private ends to serve. High ceremony fusses, but finds no response. Then it tries to enforce itself with rolled-up sleeves. Failing Tao, man resorts to virtue. Failing virtue, man resorts to humanity. Failing Tao, man resorts to virtue. Failing virtue, man resorts to humanity. Failing humanity, man resorts to morality. Failing morality, man resorts to ceremony. Now ceremony is the merest husk of faith and loyalty. It is the beginning of all confusion and disorder. As to foreknowledge, it is only the flower of Tao, and the beginning of folly. Therefore the full-grown man sets his heart upon the substance rather than the husk, upon the fruit rather than the flower. Truly he prefers what is within to what is without. From of old there are not lacking things that have attained oneness. The sky attained oneness and became clear. The earth attained oneness and became calm. The spirits attained oneness and became charged with mystical powers. The fountains attained oneness and became full. The spirits attained oneness and became charged with mystical powers. The fountains attained oneness and became full. The 10,000 creatures attained oneness and became reproductive. Barons and princes attained oneness and became sovereign rulers of the world. All of them are what they are by virtue of oneness. If the sky were not clear, it would be likely to fall to pieces. If the earth were not calm, it would be likely to burst into bits. If the spirits were not charged with mystical powers, they would be likely to cease from being. If the fountains were not full, they would be likely to dry up. If the 10,000 creatures were not reproductive, they would be likely to come to extinction. If the barons and the princes were not the sovereign rulers, they would be likely to stumble and fall. Truly humility is the root from which greatness springs, and the high must be built upon the foundation of the low. That is why barons and princes style themselves the helpless one, the little one, and the worthless one.